Sunday's all-new episode of the CBS drama Unforgettable proves once again you cannot fool Detective Carrie Wells. Not only is she beautiful and smart, she also has a rare ability to remember nearly everything that's ever happened to her. So that comes in handy when she's solving crimes, but does occasionally get you into trouble when it comes to love. Unforgettable stars Poppy Montgomery, also known as Poppy, Petal, Emma, Elizabeth, Deborah O'Donoghue.
Montgomery!
You're the first Poppy person I've met that has a name like that.
Oh my God, I hope I'm the only one because that name is such a mouthful, no one else wants to deal with that.
I know, and all your sisters are named after flowers too.
Yeah, we have a Rosie Thorn, yes. Daisy Yellow, Marigold Sun, Lily Bell, my daughter, who I accidentally named a flower, Violet.
Accidentally?
Well, I was thinking it's my husband's grandmother's name.
Okay.
And I sort of thought, Violet's a pretty color. I mean, I knew it was a flower in the back of my head, but I didn't get the whole tradition continuing thing.
Right.
And then my brother, Jethro Tull.
Jethro Tull.
Yes.
Your parents had a great sense of humor.
And then my son
congratulations
Jackson.
Before we talk about the show, because Poppy's a newlywed.
I am.
You got married at Disney World.
Disneyland. I know, and my mother was appalled. She said that's worse than Vegas. But I told her, oh, there we are. Look at
what are mothers there for except for pride support?
She said, Disneyland, that's worse than Las Vegas. Yeah. But we have 4 children. So we have Violet and Jackson, and then Sean has 2 children from a previous marriage. And so I keep telling everyone that we got married there for them.
But family members say that Minnie Mouse was looking better than you. That's not fair on your wedding day.
It's not. I wore jeans and Minnie wore a big elaborate dress. And I was like, whose wedding is this, Minnie? Out of my... She looked beautiful. She even had a tiara. I didn't.
The kids must have loved that, though.
They did. They were fascinated by Mickey and Minnie, not so much by the wedding proceedings. They were like, yeah, but look, they're here.
But the 3rd season for you is really great because Boris Cujo has joined the cast. And I'm thinking there's got to be some kind of triangle between you and Dylan and Boris Cujo.
Oh, there is a beautiful triangle. And Boris is gorgeous. So Boris comes on, he plays a Secret Service agent. Yeah. And him and Carrie have some very heated exchanges. And Dylan, who is playing Al.
Your partner?
Yeah, my partner, but there's a sort of tension between them, becomes a little jealous.
And you have some very cool co-stars this season, but none cooler than a 6-year-old who happens to be your son.
My baby boy.
Jackson?
Yes, he made his acting debut on the show.
How did this come about?
Yeah, was it hard for him to get that
Look
job?
at him. Oh my gosh. Well, he said to me, I have to go to school all day and you get to have fun on set. And I was like, no, I'm working. And he's like, that's fun. School is boring. And I said, fine, you can do this little part. And he did. And I gave him some very strong advice, which was don't mess up. And he went and did it, and he was fantastic.
But you did have to bribe him to learn his lines?
Well, he had one line. What I had to bribe him to do was not get shy and not miss his mark and not complain. I basically said, you have to be nicer than everybody else on the set.
That's a good way to
And I
do
told him
it.
he could buy a Spider-Man at the end of it.
So he got the Spider-Man.
He got the Spider-Man with his own money that he earned for doing his one line. And he's got a little speech thing, so he said, it's super memory woman.
Yep. Oh, I like it. Poppy, are you doing exactly what you wanted to do? This is what I read about you, that you arrived in Hollywood with a book that said...
How to Make It in Hollywood.
Is that really true?
It's true.
I was wondering about that.
I bought it at Samuel French, this bookstore in Hollywood.
Right.
And I didn't really have anything else. And I read about Julia Roberts' manager, Bob McGowan.
Right. And
I called him up. And he's a cool guy, so he kind of didn't think I was a stalker, crazy nut bar. And he represented me. And I sort of started going on auditions. And I think my first job was Tammy in the Teenage T-Rex.
No, I remember you from Without a Trace when you were blonde.
Blonde.
You changed your hair color for this role?
I did. I went red, and one of my girlfriends actually said to me, wow, the red hair is like going from coach to first class.
Ooh, I like
yes,
that.
I'm keeping it.
And somewhere along the way, you hid your Australian accent.
I did. I lost it. Well, we grew up with American TV shows. I was watching Who's the Boss and all of those. So for me, it was kind of easy to do, and here it is. It's sometimes my Australian comes. My Australian comes in and out. I had an audition once to play an Australian girl, and I thought I was going to get it for sure because I'm an Australian.
That's a layup there.
They said it was the worst Australian accent they'd ever heard.
Are you
All right, Poppy.
Did you call them out on that?
I was like, I am Australian. They didn't believe me. I was ready to whip my passport.
You lost it.
Poppy Montgomery, thanks.